I have a message for you, and you're not going to like it.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it all. And I may get some help. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah! Let's go. Good morning. Welcome to the Trip Down College Football Playoff Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. We are glad and happy, as we are every day, to have y'all with us, coming to you live from Indiana and from Maine and from Chicago, which is where my homie Victor Locke is. My homie of some 24 years. Good morning, Victor Locke. How are you, sir?
Good to be back on. Good to be back on the air. I was, in the office for a couple of days, and now I'm back, and I'll be back for the next, 2 weeks, since we'll be off next week preparing for our personal Royal Rumble being December 1st.
And up to Maine we go with the big dog, Shane Lake, with the queen pin in tow. How are you, sir?
What up, boss man? Just getting the notes ready for the day. And you want to talk about some chaos we got to deal with for college football? Oh, Dietz is going to have fun later with this.
I salute you both for rocking with me for these past 11 years. And I salute any and everyone that comes in here and rocks with us. Start with a little NBA. The Golden State Warriors are on top of the Western Conference.
And
Let me say that again. The Golden State Warriors are sitting on top of the Western Conference.
I repeat my question. We're surprised why?
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
I'm just glad that they're winning more on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they are
They are
fully together.
6-1 this is what scared Victor how the Warriors would do on the road when we did our NBA preview.
Mm-hmm.
Your question, Victor, and it was a valid one, given the last 2 years, we're talking about 23 and 24.
Well, yes.
How would the Warriors do on the road? Because in 23, they were god awful.
Oh,
They
yeah.
only won 12 games on the road, which cost them any kind of chance to win the Pacific Division. That went to the Sacramento Kings.
Mm.
Last year, they were awful at home.
Yeah.
They were awful in the Chase Center. Now, they are great in both places. They've lost 2 at home so far. Yes, they've lost 1 on the road. That was to the Clippers at the Intuit Dome, which doesn't look like anything.
Mm.
There's not much into it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
There's not. I'll get to the Intuit Dome in just a minute. But people have doubted the Golden State Warriors, even when they won the championship in 2022. And I'll tell you something, man. I heard a clip from Draymond Green, and I will be more than happy to repeat what he said. And of course, I'll edit it for our radio audience here.
Okay.
2015 championship was like a sudden discovery. Hey, we can win the championship. 2016, I'll talk about at a later time, which should have been the Warriors' second championship, but we know what happened.
We know
what happened. 2017, they went from heroes to villains, and I was there for it. Why? His name is Kevin Durant.
KD.
Kevin Durant made the decision, very consciously, I might add to you haters, to leave Russell Westbrook in the dust and his type of play in the dust and go play with Steph for 3 years.
Yep.
3 of the best years we ever saw from Kevin Durant because he was just allowed to hoop.
Yep.
He said when he went in, this is Stephen Curry's team. 2017. Oh, we're supervillains? Okay, watch this. Smack the Cleveland Cadavers. 2018, iced the cake. Smack the Cleveland Cadavers again. And I was in the booth doing baseball during Game 4. I'll talk about that in a moment. And now here is the statement that I must edit that Draymond Green used to describe the 2022 championship. 2022 was like the biggest you to everybody that doubted them.
Right.
I agree. What do you gentlemen think?
Oh, easily. I mean, they just went out there and smashed everybody. I mean, it was like watching, Braun Strowman wreck everybody in the WWE. That's what it equates to.
Braun Strowman.
I pulled out the cap detection tool, dusted it off, and then ran it, and no cap to be found. It's where the Warriors got flat out tired of being viewed in such a manner. And I can't get mad at them.
Yep. They just got tired. And I'll say it again. Draymond Green said it best. I quote from Draymond Green. 2022 was the biggest you when they won the title. Because they said after KD left for Brooklyn that they would never win another title because they didn't have KD. Well, 2022 showed up, and repeating the sentence, that was the biggest you to everybody.
And I'll say
I was at my in-laws. We were living with my in-laws. I was recovering from cancer surgery. When the Warriors won, I ran around upstairs like a maniac. Why? Because the Warriors won the title in the face of everybody. And I think 2025 is going to be the same thing. Although the Boston Celtics will have a lot to say about it. I've already picked my finals matchup.
Yeah, the East has improved substantially compared to how it was in the previous years.
Yeah, it has, but I hate to tell everybody, you're coming through the Garden if you want a shot at the title.
Okay.
Which means
Since the East is
Miami.
coming through the Garden, the West is coming through San Francisco
Yeah,
and the
I'll
Chase
buy that.
and the Chase Center.
I'll buy
It will
that.
be 7 1 to 3-point games with these two. Because when they played in the 22 finals, it was close.
Mhm.
Boston stole game 1. Warriors won game 2. Boston won game 3 handily. The Warriors responded the last 3 games.
Yeah.
They won game 4 thanks to 40 plus from Steph. They won game 5 thanks to Jordan Poole.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 6, Steph put him to sleep.
And this thing, I always respect Draymond for being honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
All I'm asking for, and this is the only thing I'm asking for Draymond, just stay focused. Stay focused. Stay centered. Do not lose your cool.
Look at his play this year. Everybody's going to look at the stats of Draymond Green and they're going to say, "Oh, he's not contributing nothing." Give me this button. That's bullshit. I will call out. Y'all know me. I will call out Draymond Green and his antics, but I would also defend Draymond Green and his play on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And in his 13th season, I think it's his 13th season. Shane, look that up for me.
Give me a sec.
It's either his 12th or his 13th season. A second-round pick named Draymond Green out of Michigan State has helped the Warriors win 4 championships and is helping them on their way to a 5th
title.
It's going to go through Boston. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to go through Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the Boston Celtics. What you got for me, dog?
13. It's 13.
It is his 13th year. I thought so. I've been there for the entire dynastic run. And yes, the Warriors are a dynasty. I have a question for you, gentlemen. And I'll start with Victor because Victor was one of the first ones to come to me with this. Mm-hmm. See, Victor posed a question to me, and I'm going to go ahead and make this our question of the day. Mm-hmm. I'll have Shane put this in the live chat for those of you that are following along with this. It's our question of the day, and our question of the day to wake you up is brought to you by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Victor posed this question to me, and as I said, this is going to be our question of the day, and it goes like this. Victor asked me, is the Warriors dynasty over, or is it changing to get better?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even blink, and I said it's changing to get better.
Yeah.
And unlike all these other people that ask me why and how I feel that way, Victor just said, that's all I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, because all I need to know is like were they going to change to adapt, or was this going to spell at the end? Because 23 and 24 were really tough roads.
Oh yeah,
for Golden State.
Yes,
and they didn't respond as well as I had hoped.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Lakers had got slightly better.
Yes,
the Kings got better.
Oh man,
I mean, the war that the Warriors and the Kings had was like chef's kiss.
That could be a second round matchup for the Dubs.
Denver became champs, and then just last year, Boston became champs. Who would have thought the Boston Celtics, after all of the mess they had to go through to get back to prominence, and
you're not wrong.
The Ryan Trophy.
Yeah,
I mean, most people were telling me
that
the Knicks would have hoisted the trophy before the Celtics. I'm like, nah.
The Knicks. We'll get to the Knicks. We'll get to the Knicks in a moment.
Knicks had a longer way to go. They were just starting. They're just starting to get better. So
and then there's a team I have been following closely that could see Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals again. And that team, and Shane will know this well as we come to him, is the Indiana Pacers.
the Pacers finally starting to get their act together. I mean, how again, we were spoiled in the 90s with the runs that Indiana had in the Eastern Conference.
My God, yes, I was spoiled. I was spoiled. Look, Reggie Miller and company, even though I was a big Bulls fan and still am a big Bulls fan, I was spoiled rotten.
First place,
Yeah, and
with the Indiana Pacers.
I mean, Boston had its run with Larry, and then they fell off. I mean, let's be real about it. They fell off when Larry finally retired, and Michael literally took everything over.
Right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And now it took, 30 years for the Boston to finally get back into the promised land?
Yeah.
I mean, we had runs. Yes, we had the big three. But they did not really accomplish much.
Right. Only one title in that.
In that. Exactly. And we had how many shots at appearances and we didn't make it?
Oh, man, plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty.
It was hard. It was Heartbreak City for Boston for a while.
Matter of fact.
Then we had the finals with Golden State in 22. The first time we really had that opportunity to hoist the championship.
A shot, right.
And it was, Shane, I give your Celtics all the love in the world. I love those guys. Classic six.
It was. It really was. And then finally in 24, we end up doing what we need to do to get the damn thing.
Number 18.
And I mean, that was probably the best team since Larry's days that we've ever had on the court.
And I'm gonna say this. I still find it highly maddening that even though Boston are the champions, and as you always say, Snowman, to be the champs, you gotta unseat the champs.
Oh yeah.
Woo! But yet, no one in media is really talking about Boston.
That's the way we like it, under the radar.
It's still all about the West.
Same with the Warriors. This could be an under the radar final. You know what I mean?
It's still all about the West.
Yeah,
and we're not talking about
the West. It was also for the longest time to start the season all about Cleveland, and it still in a way is.
Yeah,
it is. It's still about Cleveland. Cleveland's running away with the East as of right now. Let's stay in the East.
Okay.
The Knicks are touchable, even though they scored a big win last night in Phoenix, Arizona. Right? They scored a big win. They scored a big win in Phoenix.
Yep, they did.
But the Knicks are so damn inconsistent. It's not even funny.
No, they're hit or miss. They've been that way the entire season.
They are hit or miss. Philadelphia's in the toilet.
They always.
And it's all because of Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
it's all because of Joel Embiid. Period.
Well,
point blank. End of story.
It's another culture issue, and I know JJ is going to have a cow with this because he is one of the guys that has been calling out this culture for a bit.
Yeah, he has. Kudos to you, JJ.
You know, the fat and sassy kind of lazy play that we've seen from Philadelphia, because they,
you know what,
talent-wise should be so much better than this.
I said this after they beat Miami in a playoff series in 2018. They got fat and happy. Then Boston came in and whooped their ass.
Yep.
The Sixers have been mediocre since that playoff round win in 2018.
And you know what? I'm about to piss off a bunch of Cadaver fans.
Go for it.
Outside of Golden State, who the hell have you guys beaten?
I agree.
Yeah.
Outside of Golden State.
Outside of Golden State, whom they did blow out, but they got to see him again in January.
Who have you guys beat?
And I will be happily behind the microphone for that game. After we do our Royal Rumble on December 1st, and we'll talk about that after the break. After we do our Royal Rumble on December 1st, basically, there are no days off when it comes to play-by-play.
Nope.
All the way through the new year when we have our college football triple header, another marathon run.
Oh God.
Hell, Victor and I had a marathon on Sunday.
We sure did.
You know what's funny? When I was
What?
doing the 49ers game, in the middle of it comes my beautiful wife with dinner. And Victor was covering the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yes,
Thank
it was.
you, Buffalo Bills. I handed him the reins for the play-by-play call while I was busy stuffing my face with
Nice.
ham and cauliflower with Himalayan sea salt. And then later, she brought me dessert and a glass of wine. You can't get any better than that.
No.
I just know one day I'm going to catch Dog doing a race, and Heather's going to walk in with a pile of food for him.
That's what we should do. We should just raid Dog while he's in the middle of a race.
We're going to do that. Everybody that has a YouTube channel where you're doing play-by-play on it, we're going to do a raid for you and send you some love. Because we do it all the time with JJ. We do it all the time with Rising Rhino, and I got to get him on the program.
We do it with Pistol, too.
I guess that means this is the obligatory. There are going to be some weeknights. You guys can check me out on Sim Racing Media then.
Oh, shameless plug.
There it is for you.
There are going to be some weeknights. You're going to see me do Warriors and Bulls games. And Spurs games.
And Spurs.
And those are the three teams. Let me do this.
Hey, someone asked me a question.
What did he ask?
Should we be worried, or should we be worried about the Spurs? And I said no.
No.
They got their face of the franchise in Victor Wembanyama.
Exactly.
He made a liar out of me because I saw him in person last year in Indianapolis.
I said
no.
Wemby.
Dear San Antonio, you ain't got a thing to worry about.
Right.
You're San Antonio. Y'all good, man. You got Wemby. He'll be all right for a while.
San Antonio is going to be good. The Spurs dynasty will return. Okay?
Yep.
Pretty soon, before Steph retires, you're going to see a lot of Spurs Warriors games in the playoffs, and for the Western, you're going to see one more round
finals
with those two for the Western Conference title.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're going to see one more. You're going to see one more round with those two. At least one more round with those two for the Western Conference title. Watch.
And I
Watch
even
this.
I've told her, I said no. The Spurs got nothing to worry about. They got Wemby. It's just going to take them to build that team around Wemby, and they're good to go. They are good to go.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine,
good.
Man. Also, I was so in awe yesterday for you guys to have Dan the Man Miller.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was incredible.
We had Dan Miller on the. I couldn't believe it myself, and I believe this is one of my best interviews I ever did with someone of that caliber.
Oh, that was a fun half an hour, dude.
Yeah, it was.
George said he shot his shot and he didn't miss.
No, I got a few shots out there now. I remember having Super Bowl champion Lee Woodall on the show. And two-time Super Bowl champion, and Shane should know this name, living out east, Gary Reasons from the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah. I remember that way too well.
But this is crazy how even throughout everything in the NBA, it still all comes back to what's happening in LA.
Yep.
And you know what? Let's be real about it. It's all because they want to shove LeBron's head so far up our asses that he can see exactly how many, how much cavity work we've had done.
Now listen, I will give the Lakers, not LeBron, I'll give the Lakers some love because they are hot right now. They are absolutely scorching right now, and they're right on the heels of Golden State. But the Lakers did something we have begged them to do for 3 years. Run the offense through Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Run the offense through Anthony Davis. That's where you need to that's where you need to go. Okay? while we're doing basketball, let's give a shout to the legendary Gino Auriemma, who now has the all-time wins record in college basketball.
Nice.
We want to talk about legendary battles? How about the battles he always had with Pat Summitt?
Yes.
Them in Tennessee, Connecticut and Tennessee.
Oh, those were
My
iconic,
God.
dude.
Those were iconic. Man, oh man.
And how many times did we see them in the Final Four?
They're there this year. I'm saying it right now. And
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the team I'm going to wind up covering this year. The Yukon Huskies.
I can
Why?
see that.
Paige Beckers.
Mm-hmm.
Paige Beckers.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get that scheduled together after Thanksgiving, because Friday will be our last show before the Thanksgiving holiday. Tomorrow will be our last show before the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to take next week off. We're going to rest. Going to make sure everything's done for Thanksgiving and everything. And then December 1st shows up.
Right.
On Sunday.
I am going to have a crap ton of caffeine for that day.
Mm-hmm.
You and me both. You and me both. Anybody who has been with us this year knows we are doing that as a charity stream for a couple purposes. You know?
Yep.
We're going to do that for a couple purposes. And we'll explain that at the top of the hour. Right now, there is a Thursday night game that we need to talk about. Now,
Do we have to?
Yes.
Crap.
Now, we've had two good ones back to back. We've had two good ones. This one I ain't so sure of. Why? I should say I love this matchup, but Michael will tell me,
stop it. Get some help.
Wait a minute. You actually think you love this matchup?
No, I don't. I don't.
No.
I'm just kidding around here.
Yes, man.
I said it at the start of the week talking about this. It ain't nothing more than a bunch of dumpster fire, man.
Well, let's break down this dumpster fire. Here's my play-by-play buddy, Chris Simpson, joining us now from New York to talk about Thursday Night Football. Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're doing good, man.
Doing well.
Love having you. I'm saying this right now, and I say this to all of my regulars. We love having you as a part of the regular crew. Your insight, your breakdowns are fabulous, and we just love being friends with you and talking sports with you. We love you, Chris. Thank you for being a part of the crew.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys for always having me.
And you know what, Chris, the one game we did together, and we're going to do more.
Yeah.
Georgia and Texas. We kept each other on our toes, man, for that game.
Yeah, and it was I don't want to say it was entertaining, but it was an interesting game because Texas shot themselves in the foot. Carson Beck turns the ball over 3 times, and Georgia still finds a way to escape with a victory.
With a 15-point win.
Yeah.
And I asked Chris after the game, how did I do? Because I always ask my broadcast partners, Victor and Craig Hill and many, many others, how did I do? You know what Chris said to me? His message to me was this, and I quote, "You were a rock star." What? Speaking of rock, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's break this Thursday night game down quickly and get to the real stuff that's headed our way on Saturday.
Okay.
You got the Steelers and the Browns.
Yeah. Listen. Pittsburgh is playing some really good football right now. They're 8-2, and I personally think that this is Mike Tomlin's best job up to date as the Steelers head coach, and I've seen him for so long. I remember when he first took the job. I remember when he won that Super Bowl. He got back to another Super Bowl. Because you look at it, teams who have had the Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, they haven't really been able to climb the ladder and turn the page.
Right.
Look at New England with Tom Brady. They've been struggling as of late, but it's a rebuild. You look at Denver. You look at Denver. They haven't been back to the playoffs since they beat Carolina in that Super Bowl. Peyton Manning. You look at New Orleans with the Saints and Drew Brees, and look at the position that they're in right now. And Mike Tomlin had Ben Roethlisberger, who we know is going to be a pretty much a lock to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he still kept his team afloat. There's no big superstar outside of TJ Watt that's on this team, but Russell Wilson is here, and I mean, since he's come in, they haven't lost a game. They're running the football. They're playing really good defense. And in the AFC all year long, you've heard about Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, the Jets. I don't know why. And the Steelers just seem to just be fine under the radar. You know what I'm saying? They're going about business, and I just don't see anybody catching them in this division right now.
No, I don't see anyone catching them either. And Pittsburgh has proven me wrong to this point. Pittsburgh has definitely proven me wrong, sitting at 8-2 in charge of the North Division. Then you got the mess in Cleveland, and yes, it is a mess.
Yeah, I thought I'd see a little bit more of a spark with Jameis Winston, but they've only won that one game against Baltimore. Didn't look good against the Saints. Didn't look good against the Chargers. Yeah, Cleveland is definitely a mess right now, and I'm curious to see what direction they're going to go in after this year, because I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to part ways with Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
Do you think for the foreseeable future this is going to be the Jameis Winston team rather than Deshaun Watson team? Because
I think it needs to be, because look, I've seen body language in football for years, and I just noticed guys didn't want to play with Deshaun Watson. You know, he's getting knocked down. They're not helping him up. And I know he's been more than a distraction, but with Jameis, you see, they play hard for him. Even when they're down by 2 or 3 touchdowns, you know, they're still running their routes, still trying to block people, swarming to the ball defensively. I mean, you see a difference.
You see a difference. You see that they believe they have found a leader. Jameis that they did not have with Deshaun at all.
Exactly.
So how do they part ways with Deshaun if they can? Because the biggest elephant in the room is that guaranteed contract that Cleveland gave Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun has not lived up to it. Let's just be honest.
At all.
No, I mean, ever since he came to Cleveland, he's only played what I say, 19 games?
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely in a bind with this. I'm very anxious to see what they're gonna do and how they're gonna go about trying to part ways with Deshaun Watson. He hasn't been the same guy since Houston. I mean, the last great season he put together was 2020, and I honestly think if Houston had a better record that year, Deshaun to me would have been the front runner for MVP.
Yeah, and he'd still be in Houston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a question.
And he would still be in Houston if they didn't set him up for that scandal, and he laid right into the trap. You got to do better. Okay, he walked right into the trap that Houston set for him because he was becoming bigger than the franchise.
Yeah, he was, and you know, in certain situations, you gotta put the team before your personal goals. I mean, why do you think they were able to succeed in New England so much? Because guys weren't getting the top dollar, but they put the team in winning before their personal goals.
Same with the 49ers of the 80s.
Absolutely.
With them signing, and I look back at this. Let's go back to 83. Who did they sign as a free agent to help their running game because Amos Lawrence had departed? A fellow named Wendell Tyler, who had a Super Bowl appearance with the Rams at the time. What did Tyler do? Help get him to Super Bowl 19. They didn't pay top dollar for him, but they needed a running back. And then, of course, later they drafted Roger Craig, and then after that, Tom Rathman. But that's how that's how they set everything up. That's how they do everything. The best teams put the team ahead of the individual. The late the late great Bo Schembechler said it best. No man is bigger than the team. No coach is bigger than the team.
Yep.
You look at the teams in the NFL right now that are getting it together, and I still include the 49ers because they've been beat up by injury and still got that next man up mentality.
And I'm going to add an addendum to that. No owner is bigger than the team.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Gerald Jones, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Took the words right out my mouth.
Robert Kraft, are you listening?
And Woody Johnson, are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going next.
I was going to say,
are you
Virginia
surprised,
McCaskey?
Chris, that the Jets let go of Joe Douglas?
No, I'm not. I mean, it's a soap opera
Mm-hmm.
in East Rutherford right now, and I personally don't know where the Jets go from here because what I see happening is this. A new head coach is going to come in, a new GM is going to come in, and they're going to want their own.
Yes.
And I personally I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Jets next year. I'll crack up if he goes to Minnesota because this will be deja vu all over again. But
because Brett Favre went to Minnesota.
Bingo. Because the Aaron Rodgers experiment with the New York Jets just has not panned out. He can't handle it out here.
Failed.
They've really underachieved, and yeah, what else is there really to say?
They got a long road ahead of them. The Jets do. Ahead of them.
They do.
Let's turn to our game of the weekend, and it's not in pro football, it's in college football, and it's at the Horseshoe, Ohio Stadium in Columbus. The biggest game in the history of Indiana Hoosiers football is this Saturday at noon. And I'm kind of mad it's a noon game. It's Indiana and Ohio State, essentially for a spot in the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. And not only that, Chris, a spot in the college football playoff hangs in the balance for both teams because right now, both teams are in. They're both on the road. Yes. Well, Indiana's at home. I beg your pardon. Mm-hmm. That's how they're slotted now. Do one of these two teams, let me rephrase. Does the winner of this game on Saturday deliver a knockout punch to the other?
I could see it. Listen, Indiana's been a great story this year. They have one of the better offenses in the Big Ten, and they also play with the same energy on the defensive side. Kurt Cignetti has made a believer out of these young men. Curtis Rourke coming over from Ohio. They have weapons galore. They can run the ball. They can win shootouts. They can ugly games up. You saw what they did against Michigan. It wasn't pretty, but they were able to survive and win that football game. Then, Ohio State, they've bounced back nicely since the loss in Eugene to the Oregon Ducks. And that's who everyone's looking up to right now in the Big Ten. And, Ohio State wants another shot at
Buckeyes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They want a shot at Oregon.
Yeah, but this is a big game for Ryan Day because he has struggled against top 5 opponents. I will say that much. This Ohio State defense, to me, they're the best defense in college football. And this is exactly why Ryan Day hired Jim Knowles to revamp that defense. They do it in every tier. They can rush the passer. The linebackers can either be sent on blitzes or they can cover in the secondary. is
Yeah.
that when you add a guy like Caleb Downs, a jack of all trades guy who can play at the line of scrimmage, who can play back in coverage, who can roam around to the ball, make tackles. I mean, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a collision course. Both teams are going to bring their A game, and yeah, I can't wait to talk about it more.
I can't wait to broadcast that game on Saturday.
What
And
does
go ahead.
I wanted to ask Chris on this. What did the loss between that Baltimore suffered against Pittsburgh? How does that affect them going forward?
It affects them in the way, can we get everybody's best when we feel we're at our best? Because that's the thing about the Ravens. They seem to shrink in big games against big time opponents. And that was the worst Lamar Jackson has looked all year. And I personally think that the formula when you play the Baltimore Ravens is simple. You got to keep Lamar in the pocket, make him a pocket passer. Do not allow him to buy time with his feet. And if you can limit Derrick Henry and meet him at the line of scrimmage and the Ravens give him less than 20 carries, you beat the Baltimore Ravens.
You know, I go back to the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. They had the Chiefs where they wanted them, and that was in Baltimore.
We talked about this.
Yep, big crowd. Everything's going Baltimore's way after their win in the divisional round. And then the Chiefs showed up with the perfect plan to stop the Ravens. And that is to make Lamar Jackson one-dimensional.
Not only that, it was Baltimore's offense, because going into that game, what was the Ravens' bread and butter last year? Running the football. They only ran the ball about 6 or 7 times in that game, and that fell right into the Chiefs' hands there. But
look what's happening now. Now. They refused. They abjectly refuse to run the football through Derrick Henry. And I've been saying that since this season started. They need to let Derrick Henry cook, even if he's only getting 2, 3, 4 yards a carry. That's still 2, 3 yards a carry that will force more people in the box to try and stop him, and opens up the top for Lamar Jackson to throw downfield.
Exactly. So, and another issue I have with Baltimore is their pass defense. Their defense doesn't scare me as it has in years past. I'll say that much. But could you guys imagine the way Baltimore's offenses look this year? Could you imagine it with all those defenses with Ray and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs and guys Haloti Nada and guys like that?
The ball hawk defense of the Ravens used to have.
Siragusa.
Yeah. And listen,
the run stopper himself, Tony Siragusa. And, Big Sam Adams.
Exactly. I think they're the front runner right now to win the Super Bowl if both sides of the ball are playing consistently.
Yes.
Now, my biggest question dealing with the league in general is, why have they really gotten away from the run game?
Baltimore?
No, the entire league.
Well, it's not a run. I mean, look, it's a pass-driven league. Everybody wants to see the quarterbacks. I'm an old school guy.
Same.
Run the football, control the line of scrimmage, win the time of possession battle, and like you just said, what does that force the defense to do? Load up the box, let everybody sit on the line of scrimmage. You can use your play action, and then that helps open up your passing game. I've often said running the football is the equivalent to taking the basketball to the hole.
Well, how did the West Coast offense was put together by the late great Bill Walsh? Okay, and everybody thinks it's a passing offense. No, what is the West Coast offense predicated upon?
Running the football.
Look at the running backs that the 49ers had in their dynasty run. You went from Roger Craig to Ricky Waters. What did they both do? They ran the football.
Even though the Bears were, kind of that team that was great in the regular season, but not so well in the postseason, they were doing their best when they were running the football under Lovie Smith, when they had Thomas Jones, Cedric Benson, Matt Forte.
I'll go back further than that. When they had Walter Payton, Matt Sewell, Neil Anderson.
And you look at some of these last Super Bowl winning teams. What have they done? They've been able to run the football. Tampa Bay is the perfect example. 2020. This is when playoff Leonard Fournette was born. The Chiefs last year, they were able to establish Isaiah Pacheco. You look at New England and the 6 times they won. Well, more recently, the last time, Sony Michel. So, running the football still pays dividends, if you ask me.
It does.
And
It really does.
Right now, for me, there's only one team that's really been doing it right, and that's the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you guys something. It's so funny you bring that up. You know who these Lions kind of remind me of a little bit? And I want you to hear me out when I say this.
Okay.
They kind of remind me of the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning. And I'll explain. The Colts had 2 good wide receivers. Reggie Wayne, who I hope gets his gold jacket, and Marvin Harris.
He needs it.
Gold jacket.
He deserves it.
The Lions have Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they have Jameson Williams. Right. The Colts always had 2 good running backs, whether it was Edgerrin James and Dominic Rhodes, and look at what the Lions have now. They have
with David Montgomery and
Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs.
You know, the Lions have a good tight end in Sam Laporta. The Colts had a good tight end in Dallas Clark.
Yeah.
So, look, in no way, shape, or form am I comparing Jared Goff to a Hall of Famer in Peyton Manning, but they both are efficient and they both know how to pick their spots. So I see a lot of similarities between the two.
Yeah. Chris Simpson joining us to talk football on Simpson's Football Chatter. All of our guests appear via the Invader Coffee guest line. All right, Chris. Does Pittsburgh run away tonight?
No. I think Pittsburgh wins, but I think Cleveland will somewhat make it interesting because this is a rivalry game. Those fans are going to be into it. And believe it or not, Mike Tomlin struggles a little bit on Thursday nights. I read he has a 2-8 record all time on Thursday nights. I'm not saying, that's going to be a contributing factor tonight, but I do think the Steelers win this game.
Yeah. Mr. Dog, what are the numbers for this game? Do you have them?
Yeah, what are the numbers?
Steelers favored by 3.5, over-unders at 37.
Yeah, I'll take the under. I'll take the under because, as Chris said, Pittsburgh seems to struggle on Thursday nights. Yeah, and this is a divisional opponent.
I'm gonna say this. I will take the Browns to cover, but I'm gonna take the Steelers to win. And
same.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more run plays using Justin Fields. That is a kind of a weird aspect, Chris. Why are they using Justin Fields for these run plays with him being under center?
Because Russell Wilson's a little bit older now, and I think they're focused on keeping him as strictly a pocket passer. He can move the pocket, but look, Russell's past his prime. And he doesn't really have that wiggle in that shift that he once did. Now, on short yardage situations, why not? Justin's younger. He's a little bit more athletic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of it's reminding me of what the Steelers had with Cordell Stewart.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree.
It's kind of reminding me what they have with Cordell Stewart when they would bring him in.
I agree.
Or short yardage situations, or it was the beginning when they had Cordell Stewart. It was the beginning of the RPO, the run pass option.
Yeah, that read option.
Yep, it wasn't necessarily the read option. It was an RPO, especially with the athleticism of Cordell Stewart.
Right.
The athleticism of Cordell Stewart. One more note before we get out of here, and that note is for Colorado.
Yeah.
The Buffs are bowl eligible. I will ask you this. Can they be playoff eligible at the end of the season?
If they beat BYU, then most definitely. They're starting to run the football. Offensive line is playing better. But most importantly, you're getting quality play from Shedeur Sanders. And this team goes as he goes.
Right. Right. Who's Colorado play this weekend?
Kansas. And
is that
one of the games?
Is that in Boulder or is that in?
That's in Kansas.
That's in Kansas City because they're rebuilding.
And Colorado's only a 2.5 point favorite.
I understand. Colorado's Colorado's a short favorite against Kansas, and remember, Kansas just knocked off BYU in their house.
Right.
And that's probably why the odds makers are saying this is going to be a close one.
Yeah. And Kansas is going to be up and ready for this game.
3:30 kickoff.
Yep.
That's a great one to look at. Great one we're doing. The first one we're doing Saturday is Indiana and Ohio State from Columbus. We'll kick everything off at 11 with the Wanna Parlay countdown to kickoff. And yes, it's a fundraiser. I'll explain that one later. Chris Simpson joining us here on the program to talk all kinds of football. Brother, thank you so much. We love you. And
love you guys
I hope
back.
to have you on Saturday, for the very least, for the pregame show. I appreciate
All right, man. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of the show.
Take care, Chris.
Yep.
Learned something recently. If the last name Rourke sounds familiar to all fans of Ohio football, it should, because Curtis Rourke is the younger brother of the remarkable Nathan Rourke,
who Robert Kraft let go.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake the Patriots ever made. Was letting Nathan Rourke walk.
And unfortunately, when it comes down to things this season, guess what? It is you, Robert. You screwed up. You completely screwed up. And quite frankly, you're lucky that this is the worst you've done. Everything else is stacked up to the point where it's about to tumble over on you.
If I may, Snowman, I'm going to have to call out somebody.
Okay.
Let's
take a break.
I was about to say we've hit halftime.
Yeah. Let's take our halftime break. And we come back. Not only will Victor call out somebody, but so will I.
All right.
We're back in a few minutes. It's halftime on Snowman in the Morning. Back in the Deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E. Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meet beep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, to start the second half of the show, we have the random thoughts of I'm going to continue to get ready for deeds. Victor, the floor is yours.
Cook.
Caleb Williams.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Where do I bleeping start? Well, I'll start this way. Snowman, get the button ready because I want Caleb to sit down.
It's a good thing.
Oh,
it's a good thing. I had Hank refill the tank for this.
Yep.
This button. Now cook.
And in fact, we probably might as well put Uber Fools on the seat too. But let's start off with you, Caleb. I have been trying to be very patient with you because I see the plays you've been making. You've been able to extend plays. You've been able to get first downs with your feet, which are great. You're able to move the football, which is also great. But you cannot keep going through these games, getting less than 100 yards passing, scoring no touchdowns. I forgot count how many games this has been that you have not been able to put a single point on the board.
I think it's roughly about 4 now.
The fact that I accumulated your stats and it's 0-0. Now, look, I get it. At least you're not turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears drafted you to throw the football. And you ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you have become a non-factor in the Bears offense. Like I said, yes. Let's take what happened in Green Bay. Let's just take what happened in Green Bay. There were several times where you probably could have thrown a pass for a touchdown, and it didn't happen. Like I said, I will give you the credit you're due, which you've been able to extend, third and long situations into converting into first downs just by using your legs. But this is Justin Fields type of play. We're supposed to be past that. And what irks me so much is how much of the Midwest Committee of Bear ADC sits there and say that you're a game changer.
Who told this lie?
For all the people who call Brock Purdy a game manager, I submit to you Justin Fields. I submit to you Caleb Williams also. Because Caleb has been a non-factor in most of the games that I've seen done with the Bears.
Last 4 straight, he's gone 0-0.
Last 4 straight. Do you know that until the game with Green Bay, the Bears had played 150 minutes of possession time since their last touchdown?
Their last offensive touchdown.
Their last offensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
How insane is that? And I'm going to get to Uber Fools too, because I want to get to this last play of the Bears-Packers game. They had at least about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Before they called the timeout to set up the field goal.
Mm.
You would think.
Say that again.
You would think with the way the Bears were playing, they could have thrown a couple passes at the sidelines. Rome was catching passes. I can't get mad at Rome. Rome was doing what Rome does. Okay.
Yeah.
We still don't know where DJ Moore was.
I was hoping you'd say that.
But
so was I.
But Rome was balling. You mean tell me you couldn't do a couple of corner routes towards the sidelines, getting them closer to the red zone? You mean tell me you couldn't hit Cole Kmet on a slant that y'all been doing this entire time? You didn't even use DeAndre Swift to get you at least another 5, 6, 7 yards closer. Because the Packers were showing that they couldn't stop DeAndre Swift consistently. There were so many options to at least get the Bears closer to the red zone, which even if you don't get the touchdown, you at least get them closer for a more makeable field goal.
More manageable field goal.
So that even if the block happens, it could possibly still go through the uprights.
Mm-hmm.
And then Uber Fools.
Yes.
Says by far the dumbest thing I have ever heard a coach say.
Oh dear.
The reason why we set the field goal where we were, because we didn't want to risk a fumble.
What the?
When was the last time you saw James fumble the football?
You know, Victor, I'll say it for you. What the do you mean?
When was the last time you see DeAndre Swift fumble the football? He has shown that he has been more sure with the football than I have any other running back.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the reason why I'm jumping on Caleb Williams, because now you're getting people who are trying to defend you to look like fools, because you're starting to prove Snowman as a prophet. That you weren't worth the money, that you weren't worth the pick.
I told y'all.
You have become
wasted money.
You have become a game manager of the worst kind, where you don't impact the game at all. You've got to start throwing touchdowns. You don't have to throw 5, 6, 7, but you got to at least throw 1 or 2.
How many games has it been now since he threw a touchdown pass?
4.
4.
Sad.
4. Jordan Love is throwing more touchdowns than you.
Hell, Brock Purdy's throwing more touchdowns than you, Caleb. And we see the Bears in week 14.
At this point, Dak Prescott has thrown more touchdowns than you, and he's injured. And this is why I'm getting so mad, is because he was saying, well, at least he's not turning the ball over. At some point, that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, that's not enough. It's not enough that at least he doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't throw touchdowns either. That's what I say. He's not negatively affecting the game, but he's not affecting the game at all.
Right. Right.
The reason why Caleb Williams was put in that position is because the Bears believed that he could help put the team on his back to some degree and help out with DeAndre Swift and possibly push them towards the end zone. But a quarterback has got to do that with his arm. It's not like you don't have weapons to use. They gave you Rome because just like how they gave Justin Fields, DJ Moore, they gave you Rome to be that guy that's going to help you score touchdowns, throw touchdown passes.
Yep.
It is not enough for you to go, 12 and 16 or 24 of 33 and get 67 yards and no touchdowns and no picks.
I love that.
It's getting tiring to watch you go out there and basically be a statue. I get that offensive line is porous, but my God, do something. And I don't know if this is an offense coordinator issue, if this is an Uber Fools issue, or if it's a you issue, but you have not earned your money yet.
Shut up, Brian. Shut up, Brian. Shut up, Brian. Shut up, Brian.
All of these times that you have gone 0-0, it's got to stop. Shoot, you're looking worse than Trey Lance out there right now.
Shut up, Brian. 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 Shut up.
So right now, you are looking worse than game manager material.
Oof. Woof.
At least game managers affect the game in some manner.
Mm-hmm.
They limit mistakes, but they also score. And that's something that you have yet to do. Now I better stop because I know these will be here soon. But Caleb, you're starting to look like a bust. You need to get your act together. And fast. Now get up.
My turn. To Lewisburg College and P.D. Doris. Have a seat. I know this is probably going to cost me a friendship and a connection, but at this point in time, after what I learned last night, I don't care. Now, give me this camera. What I saw last night on YouTube angered me so much that I stopped working.
Okay.
And what I saw was a school that I did play-by-play for on my own time, with my own equipment. At the end, all I asked for was a little bit of reimbursement for all the gas mileage I put on my car to follow, especially softball, because they got all the way to the national championship. I couldn't make it to I couldn't go to Alabama and broadcast there because the rights were already taken. F you. And then there's the case of someone who I thought was a friend in P.D. Doris. Now I know I'm going to try to talk to him today, but I got to get this out. I got to get this off my chest. When I saw that High Level Media, which was his company, broadcast Lewisburg College last night, I flipped out. And said all kinds of bad words that would fill up 3 swear jars. 3 of them. King size swear jars. Because what this indicates to me in the times that I have tried to communicate with Lewisburg College and say, hey, I'm healing. Let me back on the roster. Let me back in. No response. None. 3 years. 3 years of communication or lack thereof. All I got was a prayer of hope before my surgery from the guy in charge. This is what I feel. I feel that they went behind my back. And put this together. And I hate putting my personal feelings in this on my show, but I gotta say this. I'll say this even more raw on Patreon later. Y'all pissed me off. Period. It's like they forgot who I was, what I went through, and everything I'm going through to get my health straight. It just indicates to me that y'all really don't care. What this indicates to me is all the hard work I put in for almost a year. Almost a year. All the hard work I put in. All of the times I traveled with the softball team. Hell, we traveled to Burlington, North Carolina together.
Breathe,
all
boss.
right?
We breathe, boss man. We got you. Just breathe, man.
Let me focus on the softball team because those were my girls. Okay? I love them to death. All the home runs, the singles, the doubles, the pitch outs, the pitchers, all of the, and even a no-hitter. I called 2 no-hitters for that team. I streamed to their YouTube channel. Hell, if I knew at the time that I could do it, I'd have found a way to stream to my own YouTube channel, which I did on some occasion. There was a hopeful deal in place with the folks at Region 10 that I would get healthy, I would get back to North Carolina, and I'd be broadcasting their entire tournament games. Only thing we didn't figure out was a price. And before I could quote a price to them, I got sick. I got sick right after the season ended because that is where my blood clots came in. Then a month later, we discovered a mass on my abdomen that turned out to be pancreatic cancer. It's not fair. I know my boss, Shane, told me to breathe, but it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm doing everything I can to get back to health so I can get back in the booth, and a hopeful client brings in someone else. You think that didn't piss me off? You think that doesn't get on my nerve? Like I said last night when I saw that, I flipped out. I flipped all the way out to the point where my wife heard me, then her audio, more of me than her audiobook. And baby, I am so sorry for that. But I did, y'all. I flipped the f*** out. And like I said a few moments ago, it just tells me that all the hard work that I put in, all the miles that I traveled with the basketball team, the baseball team, and the softball team. I didn't get a chance to do any road games with the baseball team because everything was so new and they're trying to get everything organized. I kept some of the games I did for them in 2021, and they're in my files right now. All the nicknames I came up with, all of the phrases I came up with. Thank you, Ian Eagle, for that inspiration. The times that we shared food together. The times we broke bread together between doubleheaders for baseball. I've tried contacting the baseball coach. No luck. I've tried contacting the softball coach. Nothing. Tried contacting the athletic director to see if I can do the games remotely. Nothing. And now I saw this. And I'll say it for a third time. I flipped the out. I flipped out. That was one of the rare times that I flipped out. And my wife heard me. I woke up to a very encouraging message from Cole Johnson this morning. He said that just means that there's something greater down the road for you. Well, I am happy to say that there is a potential move in place. There is a potential move in place. And when we get the hell out of here, I mean every word of that, when we get the hell out of here, and yes, I'm going to have enough strength in my bones to help pack, to help move, and to help drive. But when we get the hell out of here, y'all are going to see every mode of the Brian and Jody show. You're going to see every picture, every place that we go, every place that we stop. Y'all remember the trip to Kansas City we made, or the trip to Branson, Missouri, where we were on vacation for 5 days?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that? And all the pictures I took and the videos I took? And then my wife surprising me with a trip to Kauffman Stadium? There's going to be a lot more of that. To Lewisburg College and Petey Doors, from the heart, I wish you well. But make no mistake, old Snowman will be back. I'll be somewhere else, but I'll be back. Snowman Media will have their act together. I'll be working on the website today. Part of it while I'm doing my door dashing. But I'll be working on it today. And I don't care what y'all think anymore. This cancer survivor is back in the booth, albeit virtually, but I'm back. And you know something? It's great to be back. And old Snowman's back to his old self. You want to double cross me like that? Fine. I'll just be back bigger, better, and badder than ever. Trust me on that. Now get the f*** up. Thank you guys for letting me get that off my chest.
I think on that note, an extended break will be needed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let me say again to the audience and to everybody on my staff. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Thank you for allowing me to be a man that shows emotion, no matter where it is. Thank y'all for being supportive. I appreciate that. And thank you for allowing me to be the leader of Snowman Multimedia and Snowman Multimedia Sports. Old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra sung it best. The record shows, and I took the blows, and I did it my way. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props, and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code Snowman, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Luck makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Oh, hell, Commissioner's here. Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh.
My buddy Snowman raced out here crying. I said, boy, what you crying for? And then he told me. Pissed me off. Who the would do something like that to the person that introduced broadcasting live to your stage anyway? Before he got there, you some just couldn't cover an umbrella. Now, he told me everything that happened, and he also told me not to mention any names because he already mentioned them, and he's afraid it's going to cost him a friendship. I said, buddy, quit giving a about them.
Right.
Quit giving a about the people that did you wrong. And it's hard for him to forget because of all the hard work he put in. I watched it for almost a year. People were signing in, listening to him. They were complimenting him. And all that just went down the tubes, he feels. I gives no about them or the person they brought in. Because all I got to say is old Snowman will be back and bigger than better than ever. And I told him today, and the wife told me, make sure he gets his on that website and builds it up today. No door dashing, no nothing. You concentrate on what you love to do and make that be your billion-dollar money maker. And Dr. K held him while he cried his eyes out. Then he asked me to come in and give you this message. So I'm going to say it for him while he gets himself back together. He'll be back here in a minute. In fact, he's here now with a big old eating grin on his face. Now that he knows better, I'm going to get on out of here. But to the people that did him wrong in North Carolina, get up. I really feel better now.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that last night, and I figured,
what in the all types of blue hell
was that?
Right.
That's all I got to say. Hey, Don.
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. What you need?
I need Don to come in here and fill a few minutes about the situation I'm going through while I get the rest of these picks ready.
Oh, you need the Don, huh?
I need the Don. I need the Don.
He needs the
first
Don.
of all, first of all, come here. Where are you at? I need
I'm guessing that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Guessing that's this man. Get on in here.
Is he here now? Yeah, he's here.
Good morning, Snowman. Big
morning.
dog.
What
How
up?
are the two of you? Snowman, I heard what you're going through. They did you dirty. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is their loss and your gain. Because just like me with my cases, you're going to get a break in the case. Your big break is coming soon. So you keep grinding.
Always.
Now, I had to compose myself after watching another massacre of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I don't know what you do from here. From Cooper Rush, 32 of 55. Why are you throwing the football 55 times in the game?
I don't know why he's doing it. We only paid him to throw it 50. Sorry, I was in back dealing with the fact that even I couldn't fix the Paul Tyson fight.
Rico Daldo, 10 carries for 28 yards. You should at least be holding the ball for 20 carries.
Jeez, who paid him off?
Pennywise is starting to lose himself out there. It's time to put that old horse to pasture. It's time to bring him in for questioning.
I'll go send the boys.
Ezekiel Elliott with 1 carry for 8 yards. 1 carry. It's gotten to the point where now the question is, why are the Dallas Cowboys allergic to running the football?
The better question is, why is the league allergic to it?
That's a great question.
And then I had a conversation.
It better not have been with a bronzexual.
No.
Please no. Please
Thank
no.
God.
It was not. No, I spoke with Teo.
Oh, hell, that's even worse.
Oh, hell no.
That's even worse.
Someone was able to slip me a piece of paper, which led me to a place known as the Delulu Saloon.
Isn't that down the road here by the City Fifth?
About a mile away, yes.
About a mile.
That's what I thought. I keep driving past it and the music keeps blaring.
Oh my gosh.
And as I got there was Tam. And he was singing.
Oh no.
So finally I got a chance to talk to him and ask him, was he really the second in command of this moronic republic?
And the answer was?
He didn't give me one. He just kept singing. In fact, every time I asked him a question, he just kept singing about how ain't nobody calling him or texting him or paging him, asking him if he was still them boys.
Ain't nobody calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, are you still involved?
That's because you're not one of them boys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still involved? Y'all usually check on me. Listen.
We don't want to check on you.
Still involved. Hey, woo, oh, shut up, my boy, shut up. I'm still involved. Oh, I'm still them boys, I'm still them boys.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Now, the confusion I had was I asked him, how are people paging you when pages have gone out of style? And to my surprise, he pulled out an honest-to-God pager from 1993.
Oh, God.
Hey, we still use pages in the mafia. What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
He was using a pager. But yet, he was still asking if he was them boys. And I told him, I don't know. I'm asking you the questions.
You know, I'm honestly surprised the saloon is still active. I thought it'd be shut down for animal cruelty.
Considering how many horses get beat to death, I would agree with you.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
I realized I was getting nowhere fast. So I tried to cut off the meeting, and yet he still continued to sing even after I left the saloon.
Oh, gosh. Really?
Well, he is the paid headliner.
How?
As I sat out, as I was drinking my Sprite, someone decided to tell me about a possibility that all of this leads back to Gerald Jack Daniels Jones.
Dear God in heaven.
Why am I not surprised?
And that maybe he's working with two other owners causing trouble. One, someone who seems like a sweet old lady, but is a real, how did the commish call it? A witch. Named Virginia McCaskey.
Oh, don't get me started on McCaskey. That's why we can't run anything in Chicago.
And then at the head of the table is a man who looks like Kraft mac and cheese that's been cradled since 1972.
Oh, gosh.
And that man is Robert Kraft.
Oh, God.
Curdled with 38-day-old mayo.
And something's telling me that I'm going to get a break in the case. That maybe this whole thing is all connected. That these owners aren't really here for winning football games or championships. That they're here for something that's irrelevant. They're here for popularity. They're here to get their name in the newspaper, even if for the wrong reasons.
Hell no!
Like signing Caleb Williams, for example.
Stop the cap.
Who has now become on the same missing persons list as Dakota Prescott.
Boring.
Okay.
And then there's the curious case of Nathan Rourke.
Don't get me started on Nathan Rourke. Kraft screwed up.
Kraft had the golden goose and gave it away for Jacoby Brissett.
Don't even get me started on how screwed up Kraft is. I want to take a lead pipe to his head.
And now they've thrown the poor kid Drake May in the mix, and he's been getting belted left and right and center.
They should have at least started Drake. I kept telling them that, but they don't listen to me.
So now I gotta see if this is all connected. Is this a takeover by the owners committee to make themselves look so inept at football that you rather just have them all in Florida playing Parcheesi?
Are you kidding me?
Better
I am not
Parcheesi,
kidding you, Paul Allen.
better Parcheesi than Shuffleboard. They'd screw that up completely.
It is time for the fans to take back football and our football teams, and it starts with the Dallas Cowboys.
Great googly moogly.
You're not wrong.
I better get back to work. Snowman, keep your head up. Don, I'll see you later. And dog, keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I'll see you at the confessional later.
I did not know how long a stakeout was until he took me with him.
Y'all are idiots.
I was wondering why I kept seeing that beat up Ford LTD outside.
Yeah.
It ain't beat up, it's loaded.
Yeah, it's loaded.
It looks like it's dragged out, man. Yeah, but it looks like it's dragged out.
Well, we couldn't have a brand new Ford. I mean, it would look suspicious. It got to blend in. That's what you kept telling me.
All right, y'all. We got some picks to make.
All right.
And yes, I'm using an old game show theme to do the picks this week until I find the theme that I want to use. Starting the horseshoe. Biggest game in Indiana Hoosiers history. It's Indiana. It's Ohio State from Ohio Stadium in Columbus with a noon kickoff.
Ohio State's favored by 13.5. The over-under's at 51.5. And going into this, by the way, the standings, I've got you covered by 2 games, Snowman. Floyd's back behind you by 6.
Okay. This game is, again, the coin's going to land on its side because the Hoosiers have been doing damage. Yeah.
Ohio State has the best defense in the nation, and it's going to get tested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screw it. Give me Kid Rourke and Ohio. Give me Kid Rourke and Indiana to not only cover, but to win. I think they'll pull the upset.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to say Indiana covers, but I think the Ohio State Buckeyes got too much weaponry to deal with. Give me the Buckeyes.
You know what? I'm feeling the same way. Ohio State has got way too much going on.
Yep.
Rourke will go off. I'm going to take Ohio to win. Indiana's going to cover the spread, though. It's going to be a fourth quarter game.
It'll be like a 52-48 kind of game. Both the quarterbacks will go off for 400. Illinois Rutgers at high noon.
Number 25, Illinois, favored by only a point. The over-under set at 47.5.
Brian Barnhart, this is for you. Give me that fight. Give me them fighting the Illini to cover and to win in New Jersey.
What you got, Vic?
Yeah, I'm going with the Illini as well.
We'll sweep it. I've got a feeling that Illinois will end up making this a statement game to try to put themselves in better favor going into next week.
Speaking of statement games, North Carolina needs to make one at Boston College to keep their bowl hopes alive.
UNC favored by 3, over under 56.5.
All right, give me them Tar Heels. I got Tar Heels shirts all over the place. I used to live in Carolina. And I may be back there to steal another client and make it better. You never know. Give me them Tar Heels to cover and to win in Boston.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm a Tar Heel baby, so you know me. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Tar Heels.
I'm going to take BC in this one. I just got a feeling the offense is going to show up and show out against North Carolina and put a dent in North Carolina's bowl eligibility.
Speaking of putting a dent in someone's plans, here's a wild card game. It's Wake Forest and Miami at high noon from Miami.
One of the 2 wild cards we've got, Miami is favored by, dear God help us, 24, and the over-under is set at a shootout like 64.5.
I want Wake Forest to cover this, but I'm taking Miami to win.
Vic?
I'm gonna say Wake Forest.
Okay.
Let's see if their prowess from baseball does the same thing in football.
Wake Forest makes it interesting. Miami somehow pulls this out in the end. I call a wacky finish to this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a wacky finish. 1 o'clock sees Western Kentucky and Liberty.
Liberty only favored by a point. Over-unders at 57.5.
I'm going the other way. Give me Western Kentucky by that point to win at Liberty. Liberty is going to make a mistake.
Vic?
Yeah, give me Western Kentucky on that one.
I'm sorry. I'm a fan of William Byron because of Hendrick Motorsports, but Liberty University ain't going to do jack this game. I got Kentucky pulling away at the end.
All right, here we go. James Madison and Appalachian State, the Giant Killers themselves.
JMU favored by 7. The over-under set at a staggering 60.5.
All right, give me James Madison. I'll lay the points, and I go with the over in this game.
Vic?
JMU, and I'll go with the over.
Sweep it. JMU's going well over on this one.
Here we go with another wacky game. BYU and Arizona State from Tempe, Arizona. 3:30 is your kickoff time.
14 versus 21. Arizona State ranked 21st in the nation. Favored by 3. The over-under 48.5.
I'm going with the Devils. I'm going with the Sun Devils. BYU was exposed against Kansas, and BYU is basically playing for their playoff lives. Arizona State delivers the knockout punch. Give me the Sun Devils.
Vic?
Oh, this is a tough one.
Coin on its side.
Yep. I'm going with BYU on this one.
I'm taking Arizona State. As you said, boss, BYU was exposed, and they're not going to be able to recover from that exposure.
Oh, boy. And I hate saying that, but BYU was exposed against Kansas last Saturday night in their own house. BYU couldn't possess the ball. Speaking of possessing the ball, we got this one, Colorado and Kansas from Arrowhead Stadium.
16th ranked Colorado is only favored by 2.5. The over-under is at 59.5. Does Kansas do it again?
Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. I say the Jayhawks do it again, and Colorado goes 0 for Kansas. I'm taking the home team to cover and to win.
Vic?
I'm going the other way. I am seeing a lot more prowess from the offense of the Colorado Buffaloes, and I think they actually surprise Kansas in this one.
I'm taking Kansas. I was watching the Colorado game last week. They made too many mistakes in the fourth quarter. It's going to bite them this time. I'm taking Kansas.
All right. And that's our middle game. 3:30 kickoff. Colorado and Kansas from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. That's our middle game. Then we got Wisconsin and Nebraska from Lincoln.
Nebraska is favored by 2.5. The over-under's at 42.5. I love this rivalry right here.
Ooh-wee. Every time, I beg of you, every time they give me a good game to watch, I'm going with Dylan Raiola and Nebraska to win this one.
Vic?
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I'm going to go with Nebraska as well.
Oh, let's just make that a clean sweep. I'm sorry, but the Badgers ain't going to be a fan of the cornfield.
All right, that's our SeatGeek clean sweep. How about this one? Texas Tech and Oklahoma State.
Tech favored by 3.5. The over-under is set at an NFL staggering 67.5.
Good. Texas Tech covers and wins on the road in Stillwater. Give me those Red Raiders.
Vic?
Yeah, give me those 2 T's and give me the TDs. I think they go by 2 touchdowns. Texas Tech all the way.
67-64 Tech.
I love it. I might put a little cheese on that game. I know I'm gonna put a little cheese on Indiana, Ohio State. All right, you can make your bet. You can make your picks via BetUS.com, one of our betting partners, and one of Parlay, our new betting partner for all your props. Here we go with this one: Georgia Southern and Coastal Carolina. That's a 3:30 kickoff.
Coastal Carolina favored by 2.5. The over-under is at a 56.5.
I'm going with the teal. I'm going with Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina 56, Georgia Southern 49.
Vic?
Same way. I'm going with the double C's, Coastal Carolina.
Sweep it up. I'm going to take Carolina walking this one.
To the 7 o'clock games we go. We got Baylor and Houston at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Baylor favored by 8. The over-under at 50.5.
It's going to be a shootout, but I see Baylor covering and winning this game. Give me the Bears.
Vic?
Definitely a high-scoring game for me, and I'm going to take the Baylor Bears to take it out.
Houston makes it interesting, but Baylor's still going to pull away at the end of this one. I'm sweeping this game as well.
That's our SeatGeeks clean sweep. Next one, 7:30 in Alabama. We got Texas A&M, and we got Auburn.
A&M's only favored by 2.5. The over-under's at 46.5.
This is a goofy game. Texas A&M has been exposed a little bit, but I say they get their chips back in Auburn. I say Texas A&M pulls away.
Vic?
Yeah, this is good. This is a get-right game for A&M. I see them taking it.
Auburn defends home yard. I got them winning this one by a field goal at the end.
Here we go with another wild card game. We got Marshall. We got Old Dominion at 7:30.
Old Dominion's only favored by 2. The over-under is at 52.5.
Old Dominion 52, Marshall 49. I'm going with the Monarchs at home, but this is going to be a wild one.
Vic?
I think Old Dominion claims imminent domain on Marshall. Give me the Monarchs.
SeatGeek clean sweep. I got Old Dominion taking this one.
Our final game of our triple header comes from Durham, North Carolina, the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Duke Blue Devils.
Va Tech favored by 3.5. Over under 47.5.
I'm going with the home team. I'm going with Duke. Coach Cutcliffe always has a surprise up his sleeve for the ACC opponents. I'm going with Duke at home at Wallace Wade.
Vic?
I'm going the other way. I mean, I think unfortunately this is going to prove that Duke is usually a basketball school, not a football school. Give me VT.
VT will walk this one late. Duke will try to make it interesting, but Va Tech's going to clean house on this one.
And the last one, and our final game of the night comes from Los Angeles, the Battle of Los Angeles, the USC Trojans and the UCLA Bruins. Bonus coverage for this game.
USC is favored by 4.5. Over under is set at 51.5. Whose star shines brighter in Hollywood?
I'm going with the Bruins at home in the Rose Bowl.
Vic?
Doggone it. The third time that this coin is laying on his side.
Yep.
I'm going with USC.
I'm taking UCLA. Usually this series has been back and forth. It's like a haymaker fight. And you know what? UCLA, I'm taking you all the way on this one. I'm taking home teams.
That's our picks, brought to you in part by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. And later on today on our video programming, you will see an ad for our new partner, Wanna Parlay. Go to wannaparlay.com for all of your betting needs. And I have a feeling that's going to become our exclusive partner. We're working on a deal as we speak, working on a deal at a couple of other places. You want to get your name and your business out there? Drop me an email at snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. That's snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. Thank you to Emmanuel Gift for stopping by. Also, a Pizzle for stopping by. And yes, we call him Matt Uber Fools because he's an Uber fool. Because he can't coach worth a damn. He can't.
Nope.
We've seen it too many times before. Too many times. What has he done in 3 years for the Bears?
And ing.
Say it again.
Noth and ing.
It's I think it's time for the seat to be broiling hot for Matt Uber Fools.
Oh yeah.
It's time for that seat to be broiling hot.
Yep.
To get
I mean, hotter than the seat for Pennywise, which is saying something.
Yeah, it is saying something.
Which is saying something. You know what I mean?
Yep. Easily.
It's saying it. That's saying something. Hot seat coach. You know which coach should be on the hot seat? And I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it. Billy Donovan of the Bulls. I hate saying it.
Yeah.
Because the Bulls have been hot and cold this year. Well, we'll see if they can really, really, really heat up and get things going. And speaking of which, we better get the hell out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. And thank you for hanging with us these past 11 seasons. Season 11 has been a ball so far. Y'all have allowed us to be us. You've allowed us into your homes. And you've allowed the best sports talk show to be in your homes for 2 hours every day. But an expansion is coming after December 1st. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Thank you. God bless. And so long, everybody.